Good tidings YouTube, I'm Tyrant here and welcome to my first in my flight test series. As you might have guessed, in this we'll be looking at the ships in the game and putting them through their paces. This series however is just partly based on my opinions and the facts that we have at the time, as some aspects are bound to change as the game continues to develop. So we'll be keeping in mind the description given to us by the developers for each ship, as this is intended for what the ship's going to be in the final game. So it'll give us a good indication of what the end product is aimed at being. So now that that's covered, let's get on with the video. So in this video we're going to be looking at the F7CM, aka the Super Hornet. The description for the Super Hornet reads: the closest to military spec loadout as legally possible for a civilian model. The F7CM Super Hornet reattaches a ball turret and offers near mil-spec parts under the hood. Proving that two heads are better than one, a second seat has been added to split the logistic and combat duty, making the Super Hornet a truly terrifying mark to engage, and boy does it live up to this. I've been flying the Super Hornet for the last week and I have to say it's been a pleasure to fly. From what I've seen so far, the Super Hornet is one of the best combat ships out there currently, and I enjoyed flying every second of it when I was spending this ship. This is because of the power it puts at your fingertips. Compared with the others in the Hornet range, it does come with better shielding and the ball turret as standard. This gives you a bit of an extra in combat, plus it's also got that two-person craft element, giving you that further a little bit more depending how that's applied in the game. The Super Hornet as standard packs a world of hurt. It comes loaded with two gimbal mounted size 2 M4A laser cannons on its wingtips, with potential to throw up to size 4s on there if you want to improve its already dominating firepower. To add to this, the ball turret comes back on this Super Hornet, as we said previously, and this comes fitted with further size 2 weapons on there. In this case, it comes with a pair of badly repeaters, allowing for sustained damage to be applied to those unfortunate enough to be lined up in your crosshairs. Also fitted under the nose, it comes with two size 1 bulldog repeaters to allow you to saturate the target with even more damage. For its missiles, it comes with the ability to carry up to 8 size 1s, allowing to fit a barrage of your preferred missile. The Hornet can also take an absolute beating as standard, as it comes with a size 2 shield, but this can be upgraded to a maximum of a size 4 to give it even more tanking ability if needed. If the Hornet's weapons are its best feature, its handling is probably its worst, as to be honest, when it comes to handling, the Hornet leaves a fair bit to be desired. You think of the Gladius as a precision scalpel. The Hornet comes along and it's like a frigging battle axe that you have to wrestle it on target, but when you do, more often than not it's game over for whatever is unfortunate enough to be in front of you and on the receiving end. In terms of speed, the Hornet is okay. It falls about the middle of a current pack at 200 meters per second, so it's not a sitting duck, but it's no sprinter either. So the handling speed put together, it does mean it's not the worst ship out there in terms of handling, but it's not the best either. It does what it needs to, and the ability to take the damage on there gives us a little bit of room for error, and it makes up for the handling. Plus, the weapons on there more than make up for the handling. Another downside of the Super Hornet, not against the ship itself, but more for acquiring it, it's the cost of this thing. It does come with a lot of gizmos on there, so this is of course going to put the cost on there. So if you're looking at renting it, it's going to set you back 16,500 rec. This is second only to the Glaive, and to buy this outright, firstly you're going to need for it to go back on sale, but then you can expect it to be around the $165 mark, give or take. Sadly, when it comes to how versatile the thing is, this is another downfall of the Super Hornet. At the end of the day, it's a combat ship and it does not have the ability to carry any cargo, limiting its uses, but to be fair, the Hornet never claims to be anything but what it is, and that is an all-out warrior. So in conclusion, I have to say in its current state the Super Hornet is fantastic in my opinion. Yes, it handles like a bus on ice, but it more than makes up for this with its awe-inspiring ability to tear anything what is in front of you apart. That is if you can bring all your guns on target. And that's just with the standard weapons. If you were to upgrade the wing guns from size 2s to something bigger, like the Mantis guns for example, then it's going to improve that damage output even further. The Hornet can also take the damage as well. You can fly it in varying states of damage with wings and everything flying off this thing, and it still manages to be flyable and practical to use. The cost is a little high for a combat only ship, but if you have the funds to spend, then it is one of the best current flyable options, and I believe it's to be one of the best out there as an overall package, but keep in mind the Sabre as a future contender. So overall, for me, the Super Hornet gets a massive thumbs up, and it is a fantastic ship in its current form, and I would definitely recommend picking it up as a rental to give it a blast out there, because I have definitely enjoyed my time flying this thing. Again, the main downside with this thing is probably the cost on there. It's going to put it out of the limits of some people out there. But if that's not an option, by all means, go for it. It's one of the fantastic ones out there. And if you can't afford it, it is always going to be available in the end game, as we've said to us with all the ships out there. So this has been Iron Tyrant. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and fly safe out there.
Scanning. Bogey.